Yes, sir. All right. What up, everybody? This your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, go ahead and lean over and give that person a crisp high five. But if you want to be socially cautious and you still kind of weary about going skin to skin with a stranger or somebody that you ain't too close with, pick up your social media app of choice and send that person a well-crafted DM telling them thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Ramblings with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at The 3R Show. And for anything that I may have forgotten to mention, you can go to randomrob.com. And don't forget the sponsor, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. Go to hooksrub.com and you can get all manner of flavor and spices to put on all your delicious foods and whatnot. So go to hooksrub.com and use promo code RANDOM for 15% off. Now, got all the legal business out of the way and whatnot. Joining me to my virtual left, my real life right, I guess, I don't know, is a gentleman, a young man that has been captivating me and all those who are professional wrestling fans just all over the world. And it is an honor and a privilege to have the one and only Ninja Mack with me this morning. This is
Good morning,
evening
podcast world. How y'all doing today? Y'all ready to make a bet?
Well, first off, once again, thank you for being here. I very much appreciate you taking time away from your rigorous ninja schedule to be here with your boy.
Yeah, I feel you. Thank you for having me on Random Ramblings with Rob. And if you haven't, go like, subscribe, and comment and get those views up for him. That's how we make a living, people.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that. So I got a couple things.
Sure.
Through the magic of internet or whatever, you know, when I'm doing a little bit of research, preparing for this interview, I was looking at your page here on Cage Side, cagematches.com and whatnot, and just looking over your overall history.
Hey, they just updated that for me. They reached out a couple weeks ago. They said, "Hey, you're all over and you're not on here. Send us something." So I had to actually send them some things. So that's all recently new. So if you haven't, go check out their website and all my matches for GCW.
So the start for you, the genesis, was around maybe 2014. Is that correct? Because we're gonna fact check all this shit right now.
Yeah, I would say it was about December of 2014. So I'd give more credit to 2015. I was getting off a circus tour in Seattle, and one of the guys on the tour was an old wrestler, and he was just kind of running through. I did a lot of amateur wrestling growing up, so he saw I could do a lot of badass flips in the circus, and I was a fighter and a wrestler, and he said, "Man, pro wrestling would be something crazy for you to try," and he told me to check out some schools, and just one of the great schools was in Houston, Texas, Booker T Reality Wrestling. And I flew in on I flew in on a Friday from Seattle. I got in touch with Scott Bruce, Kevin Bernhardt, who is Reality Wrestling's producer for the show. And then on Sunday, I got to meet Booker T at his first fantasy camp for Reality Wrestling, which they still do every about 3 or 4 months. And if you're an inspired wrestler in Texas, I recommend go to check out Booker T's Reality Wrestling. Great company to start with if you're trying to get in the business. But I joined Booker T's Reality Wrestling Fantasy Camp that Sunday, and I never went back to a circus tour. I've been a wrestler since.
So you went through a breath full of things right there, and one of the things that right off the bat caught my ear was circus.
Yeah, I get that circus treatment, man. I was that kid. Leaving high school, did the first year of college, realized college wasn't for me, and I got that story saying I ran off to the circus, and yeah, I got that story behind me. I ran off to the circus as a young kid.
So, I mean, you do all these fantastic feats and everything or whatever. So prior to going to the circus, I mean, what was your training like? I know you say you did a little bit of amateur wrestling and all this other stuff, but as per Cage Match, they got you listed in skills in, let's see, gymnastics, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and ringing and Taekwondo.
Huge martial artist. I mean, I've always been a fan of martial arts, fighting. If I wasn't pro wrestling right now, I'd probably be trying to shoot for MMA and fight a little bit more. Um, Definitely, my whole family was amateur wrestlers growing up.
Word.
I'm the oldest of seven kids, five boys, two girls. So, when you got a big family, we just beating each other up at the house all day. I'm the oldest. So I got to take advantage now because, by the time I was 13 and they were 10, they were already bigger than me. I ain't that big. So my little brothers were probably whooping my ass by the time I was a teenager. But, I mean, I grew up being an amateur wrestler. I did a little bit of gymnastics growing up. You go to those open gyms, you bounce on the trampolines, you throw yourself. But I'd give a lot of my credit just to amateur wrestling because I was the smart ass kid that tried and go take on the 225 in high school at 135, which I didn't do too bad, but I would still get my ass thrown around. And eventually, you get thrown around enough. I learned how to know where I was upside down. Like a cat, land on my feet, get ready for the next reversal. So after getting thrown around, just hit the feet, get behind, wrap up the 2 points, break away, repeat. You got to survive against these monsters.
Word. So bring that experience to a reality of wrestling and everything. I mean, did it give you a leg up as far as your training?
Oh yeah, I was I, I was, if I remember correctly, I was doing a match within my first month of training for Row on their TV series. I know they're very fortunate and they eased me in to where my first time making an appearance, we did a bad team and I got possessed in this group called Legion, which they're still
Oh
running
yeah.
at Row. So they're running well at Row still with Izzy James, I believe. But my first spot in a reality wrestling show, y'all saw that 6:30 back in 2015, and crazy never kind of went viral back then, but I wasn't marketable at the time. I was just a young kid, not a young kid, but I was just coming in trying to get seen. But 3 4 weeks later, I was running my first match.
Word. So I look at the timeline as it laid out to me and everything. Started around 2014. And then as we move closer to 2017 up into 2019, there's not a lot of activity. I mean, what was happening around that time frame?
Life, living with the circus from 19 to 24, 25. I was already traveling. I was a suitcase. I traveled my whole life for a living. With Circus Soleil, I did a workshop with the Michael Jackson workshop. So I was a little guinea pig. I did a couple jobs here and there. But like pro wrestling, WWE and Circus Soleil are the big companies. There's many other companies, just like indie wrestling.
Yeah.
I can't call it indie circus because SeaWorld's not indie, but there's so many jobs to where I was in Venezuela. I was in Mexico for 6 months. I was in Belgium. I did 6 week tours everywhere. Um, so I would I was living out of a suitcase for a while. Got into wrestling. I love wrestling. I did 2 years of books, about 2 years of lucha after books, just because I'm in the Texas scene, and it was really more my style, as crazy and as quick as I am, and I can match a lot of luchas, and then I could be that gringo down in Mexico, and they hated the gringo that could just take off the mask and throw people around. So I was a natural heel growing up, which is great, but also life happens. I kind of settled. I had a child.
Yeah.
Um, I post videos. I call him Ninja Leo right now, man. But he's learning some wrestlers, and I don't know if Ninja's going to be his favorite for much longer. He just saw Leo Rush, man, and he
Oh
fell in
boy.
love with Leo Rush. He's like, Daddy, he's got my name, and he's a superstar. And I was like, Yeah, Leo Rush is a major superstar. Guy's phenomenal. But yeah, kid's 2.5, 3, and COVID hit, and we're down in Houston, Texas. After COVID hit, I had a couple friends kind of go back to training, Pedro Lowrider and then Jaime Martinez, who are the two owners of Loco Wrestling.
Yeah.
We started training 3 months in, kind of you start training, you get that age, and they asked me if I wanted to do their Loco show for a match. So sure, I don't mind. I'll come in and do a match. It'll be fun. Why not? And then the gimmick, what do you want to do? You got to have a gimmick in wrestling now. I was like, yeah, well, I'm a gambler and I'm a ninja outside of wrestling. So why not just bring that to the wrestling world? That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I feel comfortable with. So now I'm a gambling ninja in pro wrestling.
Mhm.
With the Loco, we did that. I did that first run in, pop for 10,000 views, and they were like, "Whoa, we got to do something else." And then I did the second match with Wrestling with Unicorns came down.
Yes.
When they came down, they saw me and Dante Leon run
Yeah.
that first match at Local Wrestling, and that popped their account so much that they went a little viral, which I'm happy for. I love Martin Wrestling with Unicorns. I'm glad they're getting out there too. But it also helped me and Dante get out there, seeing our views. I didn't do social media.
Yeah.
This whole time, I was just wrestling. I just wanted to wrestle. So I was very uninterested in Instagram, uninterested in Twitter. I really like just being in the gym and being in the ring, which now that I see did hurt me on the rise up early, just because marketing, and now that I'm getting a grasp of everything. But once I did that match at Loco with Dante, Noah saw it, they liked it. 2 months later in March, I did a match with Dragon Bane for Local Wrestling, and that gave GCW the window to call me and Pro Wrestling Noah once they saw that match. And I got a call from Noah 30 minutes after that Dragon Bane match, and I would say about 3 hours after that Dragon Bane match, I got a call from Jimmy Lloyd offering to come down to that collective in Tampa the first time I was able to come out to GCW.
Man. So that's just like almost the way you describe it. It was just like, I'm gonna come back, and it just took off from there, man.
Yes, so yeah, literally, I came back. I ran 3 matches for Loco. The last two really got that buzz, and the next appearance was GCW Collective, and Jimmy. I don't want to get his show name wrong. I believe it's D Generation F was that
Mhm.
first show at the Collective. I
Yeah.
didn't know what a scramble was. I was just coming in to do a match. They told me, hey, you can get down here. We'll have a spot for you. So I bought my ticket to Tampa. I bought my own round trip. I bought my own hotel. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what GCW was previously. I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about death matches until I went to the Collective. And when I say like I did that Collective, man, I did the first show. I ended up doing 8 shows that weekend after the first show,
Yeah.
which that they loved me, and then which was great. But after seeing what people do for death matches, man, that opened my eyes to a whole new world. And then I saw my first ever Texas death match like 3 weeks later. Fucking pussies. They're not GCW death matches from
Oh,
what I
no.
saw. GCW when GCW, man, light tubes, hundreds and hundreds of light tubes indoors. I saw this death match in Texas, and it was 3 light tubes, a
Mhm.
chair. It's just not the same.
I know you probably don't know the particulars on it or whatnot, but how much do you think they spend on light tubes per show?
Oh, that miscellaneous expense, I'm sure, gets a reason why a lot of us aren't getting paid that Cardona money, you know?
Yeah, I understand. And like I said, I mean, you got going from one match here in 2014 to 8 and 15, and then you get to 2021, 46 freaking matches, 8 of them in July. Is just Ninja Mack has been on and popping. Because you speak about wrestling with unicorns. I believe that's where I discovered you and Dante Leon or whatever.
Nice, yeah, they've helped us out tremendously. They don't get a lot of credit because there's stories that some promoters are saying they're two guys with cameras. But if they're just two guys with cameras, I hope they make a shirt and sell 1 million of those bitches because those
Yeah.
motherfuckers are so good at what they do.
hmm And I mean, those are the unsung heroes like Brian D. Photography,
Mm-hmm.
Proctor, the Unicorn guys. And
Yeah, they're blowing up.
I mean,
Tusslemania, I hired a photographer myself, met him through one of these shows randomly. I now bring him to every show I go to every weekend. Guy's phenomenal photographer, video editor. I believe, I don't want to mistake his words, but he's jumping on the Thunder Rosa's YouTube podcast to film everything for him. So keep
word,
your eyes out for Tusslemania in the year 2022.
word, because it's just like I'm looking because I follow a lot of these guys because they do produce a lot of good content or whatever. And once again, like I said, that's how I found you. And it's just like as much as you're on the road doing all these different shows, they're on the road as well because I could see them at a show posting content, and then the
And
next night they're
they get it
somewhere
out
else
fast.
doing the same thing.
Yeah, they get it out fast. They'll get that video recorded as soon as that show's done, man. They're at the hotel working, editing, getting it out, making sure everyone's seen. Martin and his brother wrestling with the unicorns, man, they grind just as hard as the wrestlers. And that's just to show you that the wrestlers, we're just a small part of a show. Yeah, we're doing the crazy bumps, but without our camera people, without the producer, without the ring announcers, without the rest, without the ladies walking around, without the people setting up the shows, none of this is possible. And luckily, we get a lot of the credit for the wrestling, man. But I try and go around and help the camera people. I try and get the people, the announcers, our Kevin. Um, I mean, all those guys. I just try and be helpful to them because they're always so helpful to us. Good goes good. So.
Word. So far, since you've been doing professional wrestling and everything, what's probably one of the best pieces of advice that you received so far?
Mm, you're alone.
Word.
Yeah, you're alone. Do it your way. You find your own way. Don't try and find another path that someone's done it. Because if you go down that path, you're now number two from what they did.
Mhm.
Find your own way.
Word. Okay. So when it comes to the design of the mask and everything and deciding to put the mask on or whatever, I mean, what went into all that?
So when I first came back, I was being in Texas and having some connects. I already wrestled in Mexico a lot, so I was very I don't want to say ambidextrous because you got to wrestle a left and American, right and lucha. It's kind of a blurred vision. But once you kind of learn those formulas of right and left, and you get comfortable, I was doing so many matches. I know it said only 8, but I know they said 46 this year. I just did 4 this last weekend. I'm
Oh
over
yeah, they
100.
ain't even update that yet.
Yeah, I did a last year. I believe they only got the big GCW local shows. They
Mhm.
didn't. Every Sunday, I was wrestling 2 lucha shows. They don't record those small lucha shows with
Mhm.
50 to 100 people, but I do that because I'm still trying to put everything together, try new ideas, and then like I said, I don't mind grinding in front of 50 people. I enjoy wrestling.
Mhm.
But with the lucha, I when I first started out, I didn't have this design. I went with an all black mask,
Mhm. I seen
and
that.
I would run out and I would take the mask off because against luchadors, there's a respect with the mask. So I would take it off and wrestle as an American, just to give them their respect. I would consider myself a luchador, but I'm not Mexican or South American to take credit in that. So but with the mask on against American wrestlers, I would keep it on as an intimidating purpose. So
Mhm.
that's how it started, mask on, mask off against Americans and luchadors. But I was wrestling 2 or 3 times a weekend, so it was very easy to like just a switch. And then two, with that first mask, I couldn't breathe. Could
Yeah,
not
because
breathe
it
at
looked like it
all.
was because it looked like it was almost just like a stocking or something.
Yep. All black mask, just the little 2 eye sockets. Just wanted something for Ninja. Like I said, I was just testing waters. I was just playing around and enjoying some indie work. And then I was doing the gambling gimmick because all my promos and then all my merch were related to gambling. So to get my subscribers up after GCW started my Twitter and Instagram, I'd buy that $20 poker chip case at Walmart. I put a
Yeah.
Ninja Mack sticker on it, real cheap. Spent $40, but my first 500 subscribers on Twitter and Instagram was because I handed out a poker chip with my sticker on it, my initials on the back, and I handed out 500. I said, "Hey, here's a chip. Go subscribe." And that's how I got my first 500 subscribers on Instagram and Twitter.
Word.
Literally one by one by one myself.
Word. I used to do that back in the day to where like I had a box of business cards and those are freaking going by the
Mhm.
wayside as well because now they got like what's that blue and all these little joints that you just run your phone over it and it give you all your information and shit. I used
Yeah, keep it all updated for you.
yeah, I usually just to go to like Walmart or some other crazy place and I just take a whole rack of freaking business cards and I'll just plant them strategically all over the place.
You gotta do that work. You gotta do the little work. You gotta find your way. That's what I mean by being alone, man. Because a lot of the young wrestlers, a lot of the wrestlers right now, they just show up to shows. Some people might help out with the ring, cool, but you know what? I'm there an hour before the ring to help out with the people. After the ring set up, I'm out by the people before the show. When the show's going on, I'm not sitting in the back. You'll go see me walk around between merch. I'll go sit with fans while the show's going on. I,
Mhm.
I want to be so interactive throughout the whole show. But going back to the mask, I mean, the idea of having it on and off. Eventually, the gambling gimmick took over, and then Conan from AAA down in Mexico runs a lot with MLW and AEW right now. I've been a good friend of his just from my lucha previous, and he's always had his eyes on me. He always loved my skill level, but presentation wise, you got to be a professional. You got to look professional for it. And he reached out to me and he helped me out tremendously. He said, send me some designs of what you're kind of wanting to do, and I will get you in touch with some of the best AAA gear makers. And he helped me out. He got me in touch with the best guy. I sent my design over, got me my gear. I went with the red and the black because with gambling you got roulette. If you know roulette, you know there's not just two colors on roulette. There's one more, but I'm gonna keep that one a secret for now. I haven't pulled that gear out yet for a special occasion.
Okay. Yeah. And then, I follow you on Instagram and I bug you about it all the time because you show off your red gear, you show off your black gear, and I'm waiting for the all white gear, man.
So the all white gear that'll make an appearance before my green. So if you ever watch roulette, they got those little zeros and the double zeros. That's my secret gear I hid. I made that gear knowing I was ready to go to Noah, my green gear, and then with COVID pushing everything back, man, I put that gear in the back of my closet, and I have not let anyone see that green gear. The white gear I would love to make. I'm only going to make that white gear if I end up choosing to do a death match.
Yeah, I was about to say that'd be fitting for it, right?
Yep, it's got to be for a death match. The funny story with death matches and Brent Lauderdale, when I first met him at the Collective, that was one of his first questions. Hey, you do death matches? And like I said, I didn't know what a death match was at the time, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna fucking die in a match. What do you mean death match? So I was like, no. He's like, yeah, well, it's a little more hardcore extreme. They do light twos. I was like, no, you want Ninja for a death match? I want $10,000. And he laughed and looked at me so seriously. I was like, hey, you know what? If I'm not worth it right now, give me time. I guarantee you, one day I will be worth that $10,000 price in a death match. And I know it sounds unrealistic, but you know what? If the market's right and you can play your cards right, I think it's possible.
Hey, man, you always got to bet on yourself, right?
Hey, big bets. I ain't doing little bets. We're doing big bets now.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, I've seen the Hammerstein show for GCW. Can you tell me from your perspective what the atmosphere was like that night?
Oh man, I mean, just crowd alone. If you see some of those clips, actually, I just saw on YouTube they posted a cinematic clip of the Hammerstein show, and I believe it's just one of the video people that were there, and I said they gave a very good cinematic taste to it. But it was the first couple times I was able to see a couple views of not just the wrestlers, but you could see the whole like stage. You could see the 4 or 5 columns going up of people in the stands, and to actually see the amount of people there compared to just on the floor. You see them second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor on the stage. That wave of people, man. That's why we do it. And then I mean, just being in that big of an environment for a lot of us, it's very humbling. But you got big superstars there that are used to selling out 20,000 people venues. So you can't mark out a little, but because you're there to do a job. But I'm going around and taking a couple pictures off to the side. It's nice, it's good, but it's not my end goal. I performed in front of 20,000 people before, so there 2,000, 2,500 people. Like it's great, but it's not what I've done yet, so it's not where I'm trying to finish.
Word. So, I know you spoke about training with Booker T down at Reality of Wrestling and all those other things. Is there anybody else that you had the opportunity to train with that you attributed a lot of your success to?
Lowrider, Pedro Ortega down in Houston with Loco. Like I said, I trained a lot with Booker T getting started and that crew. So I mean, Booker's there with WWE training. Man, he walks in, everything stops. Eyes. It's really good to see what a WWE superstar presence is like, and true super. He's to me one of the top five, but also 5-star superstars, man. That's a name that's going to be around forever, and he's always been there for me. I would give a lot of credit this last year. Someone that's consistently been there for me on the phone. I've gone out a couple times. He probably doesn't like me mention his name, low key.
Mhm.
Um, pretty vicious guy and aggressive guy if you're on his bad side, but
Oh yeah.
like, if you don't fuck around and you're pretty straight serious with what you're doing. I don't know if he's taken a liking to me, but he's been there to answer my calls, answer my questions and my messages. So just as last year, that's been a very good person I've been able to go back to each time. Just a lot of the training, and like I said, just from Booker T school, I didn't do a lot of independent work. They do a lot of TV, kind of gear you up for NXT. So a
Yeah.
lot of my wrestling, I only did TV work, and then I only did lucha. So even coming back this year, I wasn't ready at first for this indie stuff. It's a whole different formula. It's a whole different monster, and I'm still getting a grasp of it. Another person I would say who's always been there right now this year too is Joey Janela. Not only did Jimmy reach out, but I believe Joey was the one that said, "Hey, find a way to get this guy." And anytime I've had a message, anytime I've had a call, or anytime I pull him to the side, Joey Janela's been there for me. He's answered my questions or any requests I've had, or if I should do this or if I should do that. He's given me ideas. So this last year, Joey Janela's been there a lot for me, and then Loki's been there a lot for me. And they're two guys that I've come to really respect, and I appreciate their time.
Word. So, you know, getting used to the indie style of professional wrestling and everything, like you were just talking about. I've heard from a couple of people at New Texas Pro Wrestling down here in Houston. You know, I go out and help out with some of their shows and everything. And I didn't have the privilege of seeing you live there yet. But just talking to some of the guys after you were on that show with them, they're just like a lot of the things that come across in the ring was just like not really planned. You're just like, I'll figure it out when I get in there, you know?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a. There's some wrestlers that like to coordinate that whole match beforehand, and to me as a fighter, I like the moment of interaction of what's going to happen,
Mhm.
because that little gust of wind of you don't know what's going to happen. I think that gives an element to the fans and to the wrestlers. How good are you to react? How good are you to improv? And then two, I, I went back to college. I got my associates. So I'm not fairly dumb. I'm pretty smart. I mean, I've ran a couple businesses and managed some stuff, but and I don't. Yeah, I meet these guys for the first time every weekend, and you got 15, 20 minutes. Hey, what do you like to do? Cool, cool, cool. I like this, cool, but also I'm not gonna remember any of that shit. I don't know what a swinging satellite pop up DDT is. Like Booker T taught me the very basic of face
Basics.
bump, back bump, flip bump. So when these young kids are, hey, we're gonna do a pop up spinning satellite DDT to a poison Rana as he's coming over to a Phoenix 630, and I'm just like, do I take a back bump or do I take a face bump, or I try and keep Ninja. I think another reason Ninja's getting a little more successful right now too is I do ninja chops, ninja kicks, and ninja belly flops. And
Mhm.
that's my offense. Like I chop, I kick, I do a foot to my belly. I can call my offense. I can do everything in the ring. And honestly, you don't even got to know what's coming. You can feel it. You can see it. There's emotions like dancing, man. You gotta follow some motion sometimes.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get better with some of these crazy terms and new moves, but everyone wants to have a new move. Everyone wants to do the new slam. Everyone wants to do the new flip.
Mhm.
I really like to just go out there and I want to be in front of the crowd for 20 minutes. And then the other thing in my head is sometimes how do you know what the crowd likes?
Yeah.
Until you're out there, like I don't know what the crowd's gonna like. Why am I gonna do a Phoenix 630 if they don't like this flippy shit? They want to see some. They want to see some blood. They want to see us hit each other in the face. I want to please the crowd. I don't care to please me or the wrestler. I'm not there for them. I'm not
Mm.
paying myself, and that wrestler's not paying me.
Yeah. So notable offense by you or whatever. We got the freaking the forgive me if I get the names wrong, but we got like the Super Sasuke special, the freaking moonsault after moonsault after moonsault
Hey,
after moonsault after
hey,
moonsault.
I give that credit to Joey Janela. going to the collective. I just, I met the guy and he's like, hey, dude, you're pretty badass. I see you're athletic. Could you do this? I was like, what the fuck's a Sasuke? Is that from Naruto? Like Sasuke, the Uchiha? I know ninjas, but I don't know what no Sasuke move is. Yeah, you just do the cartwheel backflip over the ropes. I was like, yeah, I could do that. He's like, hey, could you go like flippy backflip? I was like, yeah, no problem. What did you need, Joey? And that was I did that spot for the Degeneration for Jimmy show. And that
Yeah.
was the clip that got that 15,000 views in like 10 minutes, going back to Joey. Thank you, Joey, because I'm kind of molding that myself. And even this last weekend on Jay Lethal and Action Andrade, I did like a super supreme Sasuke on steroid special where if you get a chance, I just posted on YouTube. It was me versus Jay Lethal versus Action Andrade.
Okay.
And man, it was just
I'm gonna try to bookmark that now because I seen you do it one time to where it was just like it seemed like you was never gonna stop.
yeah. No, I've done some wild shit. I have been not to say holding back, but I've been gearing up for Noah, so I've been trying to keep myself very limited to not show a lot of my new and big stuff yet.
Yeah, got to save
So
some things. I
I'm
got you.
saving some stuff, but also in my head, if you think of Ninja Mack coming back this year, it was local wrestling, it was GCW, it was AAA, Noah called, Maryland Championship Wrestling called. They're putting on shows with big stars every other weekend, and I've done a couple of small shows, but the base of Ninja Mac is the hottest Texas promotion, local wrestling, the
Mhm.
biggest indie promotion in the world, GCW right now. I worked again with AAA this year, and I've been waiting to get over to Japan for Noah. And that is my floor for
Yeah.
Ninja right now, and then that's a pretty damn good floor. I keep getting told about, so I'm starting to see it. And people always say, "Hey, oh, AAA and GCW and NOAA are a lot of ceilings for a lot of people." And
Mhm.
I mean, I hope they can get past that and grow and get into those. But those are my floors right now. So we're going to see where the ceiling takes us and how far we can go.
Word. And to go back to the super duper Sasuke special or whatever. I mean, there was a clip that you posted not too long ago or whatever when things go wrong sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah, no, so I got a Mick Foley. I'm putting that one on you. I'm putting that one on you. So I want to say I don't want to get the date wrong. We're in Atlantic City. Mick Foley's there. I finally get to meet Foley, huge legend, guy I watched growing up forever. Got up my picture with him, and he put his hand around me for that picture and touched me. The very next weekend at the show, I go to do that Sasuke man, and I get locked up in the ropes and I'm choking and killing myself against the next thing I know against Drago. And it's like, okay, I'm dying, and then Drago's got to break a little kayfabe, and the rest got to save me. But yeah, I'm hung up on the ropes, choking myself.
Oh man.
And like I said, I've hit that thing. I hit that thing since then, no problem. But I guarantee you, McFoley, whatever you did that day, man, the next time I pulled that, I choked in those ropes, man, and I struggled for a good 10 seconds. Saw a couple flashes.
So I mean that's going to be the litmus. We're going to see if that's going to be the correlation because Macadona just recently with that match he had the flannel on that said "fuck McFoley" and whatnot. So I mean, if they get in the vicinity of each other, we'll see where how
We'll see.
Macadona fares.
Hey, Matt Carter's been fucking around with some of the GCW people, pissing that roster off and kind of doing his thing, but little connection that people know about. Ninja Mack was born in Long Island too. So if he's the Long Island story, I might have to add to that story one day. Matt Cardona, whenever you're ready, you want to make a bet?
Word. Word. I would be down to see that. And I mean, he's doing pretty good. He's doing
Oh yeah.
well over the expectations that I thought he would be doing when he left the other company and
Hey,
everything else.
but that just goes back to being alone again. Do it
Mhm.
yourself. Find your own way. Look, the guy was at WWE. He was gonna be one of the next top guys, and some things just happen. He comes back, and instead of going home and being butthurt and doing other things, he grinds. He gets his podcast out. He gets his views up, and he's back on the scene making more changes, relearning, regrowing. That's what we all got to do. We should learn from that, but still just an asshole.
Indeed, indeed. So I know you got all this professional wrestling that you're getting into. You still trying to find your way and just kind of hone a lot of things and whatnot. What is it like for Ninja Mack when he is not in the wrestling ring?
Dad. I'm Dad Ninja. I mean, me and my kid. Uh, Let me see if I don't want to mess up my camera too much, but I am in my living room. I look at my wall right there. You see my bow staffs. So if I keep circling, see our little training dummy. You know what? See if I can get out the picture for you real quick. I got a little training dummy. I got my weapons. That TV is not for TV. That's to watch wrestling and train fighting. Circling around. I mean, we got world champions. Let me see this. I got world champ title on the wall up there for Taekwondo. Just shout out to my beautiful half. She is a 10-time world champion for ATA Taekwondo, and she's the real ninja. So y'all watch out when that ninja family gets started. And then
Word.
just to give you a little peek in my living room. My whole living room is a gym of fighting. So just give a little
Word.
insight to the ninja house. But no, yeah, if I'm not in the ring, I'm training in the living room. If I'm not training in the living room, like I said, right after this, I'm going back to the ring. I'm in the ring about 6 hours a day if I'm not lifting or working out.
Word.
But I'm also, like I said, I got a good snowball effect right now, and I'm really trying to grind and push. GCW's been very blessing of me to where with Noah, I was ready to leave December 7th. It got cut off December 4th. And I was like, oh well, GCW just hey, come back on tour with us. You're here every 2 weeks until you leave. So I've had a very good GCW crutch, Brett Lauderdale. I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. Jimmy Lloyd, just for that message, and obviously Joey, man. So all three of those guys. Anytime I start this Ninja Max story, it'll start with Loco, and I'll start with that Jimmy Lloyd call.
Word. Word. So I'm gonna say some names or whatever, and you just give me your honest thoughts and opinions of them. So I'm gonna go down. I got 5 of them for you.
Yeah, come on, throw them at me. What you got? I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm pretty honest. I don't hold back.
Mysterious Q.
Love them. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know when I was gone for the 3 years. To me, he was one of the couple I thought was going to be at NXT, and I thought he was going to take off and be a big mega star. But like I said, I was gone for 3 years. I don't know what happened. I don't know the insights. Guy's phenomenal. He's got the look. He's got every fucking skill. I don't know why he's not at NXT or a big viral everywhere.
Okay. Dante Leon.
Asshole. I love him. I love him. Good rap. You know what? Um, we just had a killer tag match, and I was telling Brett, I'm not a tag wrestler. I didn't leave the circus to come back and be in tag matches. I left the circus to come back and be in a match, and me and him have been killing it all year. Funny shout out moment: January 23rd, 2021 was our match for Loco. January 23rd, 2022, me and him were at Hammerstein Ballroom. So in 1 year of us meeting each other, doing matches, in 300 exactly 1 year, we're doing a match at Hammerstein Ballroom. So I say asshole, man, but without that man, Ninja Mac probably is not here. So I love you, Dante. Thank you. But I am still gonna fucking kick you hard, even though we're winning tag matches. So look
out. Brian Cage.
Guy's such a fucking powerhouse. So strong. He's strong. He's got everything. Megastar, like really megastar. He needs that one thing that really clicks, that pushes him to that next star level. But the guy's like inhuman strong. When I met him and worked with him, he tossed my ass around. So, but I do want revenge on that match for sure because he whooped my ass that match.
Okay, Gringo Loco.
Beautiful. The guy's beautiful. Basic God, he's there to catch everyone. He's there to do his job, and I'm glad he's going to get this good push coming his way. And what he did with Psycho Clown showed you this last weekend in Dallas that he's not just a little base lucha guy that helps the other guys flip around. That man put his heart and soul into that match and gave those people everything. So y'all watch out for Gringo, and you go tune into his collective show coming up.
Mm-hmm. And the last name I got, and you talked a little bit about him earlier or whatever, but Loki.
Vicious. very clear cut. Get exactly where you need to. No bullshit. Don't fuck around. Don't waste time. Let's get our job in. Get out. Very good person to be around, but also, like I say, you gotta be very careful. Be very careful around that man. You step on the wrong toe and he'll end you.
Word. So, I mean, man, it's been great to sit here and talk with you, sit under the learning tree that is Ninja Mack and everything. And I wholeheartedly look forward to everything that you got coming up and going on and whatnot. Before we leave, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and everything that you got coming up.
Hey, you can always check out Ninja Mac on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Those are the easiest things. Go subscribe, go like, comment, share. That's how we get a little feedback. It kind of pushes the wrestlers when y'all like and comment because we like that. Subscribing is how we make a business and we grow. So please go subscribe. This next weekend, I'm taking this next weekend off. I'm really I got things I got to work on. I'm really trying to clean up my body for TV. But the next weekend, you can check me out in Los Angeles. My first match, Mike Speedball Bailey. I think that is going to be a tear down killer match.
Oh,
And
yes, it is.
honestly, I keep telling Brett, don't fuck around. Put his main event. Don't put us in the middle of the card. We're gonna fucking kill it. And I don't want no 15, 10 minutes. I want a fucking hour long Iron Man with Mike Speedball Bailey. But I'll see what they let me do. So we got that next Friday. Saturday, another second show for I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. There's two shows in Los Angeles. I don't know if it's Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. I just know I got Speedball the first show. I don't know who my opponent is the second show. So that you can check Ninja Mac out for GCW, and you can always order that on Fight TV. And then you can also check out Ninja Mac in Atlantic City and Atlanta coming up with GCW. Or if you can, go watch Pro Wrestling Noah's app. I'll be at Noah late April.
Word. So, as always, you've been a guest of the Random Rambles with Rob. So the door is always open for you to come back to promote your next big thing or just to come to shoot the shit.
And I appreciate you. If y'all haven't done it, go subscribe to Random Ramblings with Rob. And if you haven't, go to his website and buy all his merch and all his stuff. Get that man some money.
Pretty pleased with sprinkles.
Hey, big bets. I appreciate you, Rob. You have a wonderful day.
All right, you too.